right, guys, guys, we're here. This is Life in Times, man. Different table this time. We got a circle table this time. Things are going well for us. But look, we're here with a very, very special guest, and I say this every episode. I know, but this was very special. This is probably supposed to happen months ago, but hey, it is what it is. Life is hard, but we're looking at probably one of the best editors of this time. And up there with the greats, up there with the good ones. You know what I'm saying? This guy's done a lot of stuff, put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? Definitely deserves all the flowers that are brought his way. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Hey man, you know what I mean? We're here to be honest, man. We can't fake the funk, but But anyway, guys, we're here with my good friend Peter. How you doing, man?
What's good? Happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I'm happy you made time to come through, man. You know what I mean? It's mostly my fault that this didn't happen. I'm bad with planning. That's why I need an assistant. Hit my line. But
I feel it. You know how it be.
yeah, man, that shit is hell. But like, what can you do? But I mean, as long as it happens, I think that's like the biggest thing. Like, as long as it makes it, and long as we can do this, especially with everything going on with you. But we're gonna get into that later. But look, let's just start from the beginning. Let's get like the origin story, where you're from. Whatever the case is, because I don't even know where you're from, like at all, like not even a little bit. You know,
Okay.
Go ahead and lay it down.
Shit. Well, I was born in the Philippines, and I was only a few months old when my parents took a job. My mom and dad took a job in Hong Kong, and they worked there for about like 3 years. So I was about 3 years old, and then they moved to Atlanta
Really?
for about a year. So by the time I was 4, we had moved to New Jersey. My little brother was born there in Newark.
Mhm.
Stayed there for a while, and then ended up moving around to like Ohio for a little bit. Spent like middle school there, and then spent like high school in Florida.
Mhm.
Different city every year.
So I
Like
was to say you moved.
off
That's like you
from
named
the
like
jump.
6 places. Like yo, like that's and then not even counting the international ones. Like that's I didn't even know you were Asian.
Word, yeah, yeah.
I thought you were Mexican this whole time. Like this whole time, and I was always wondering that shit. But that's why I keep going. My bad, I cut you off.
Okay, so after Florida and after graduating high school, I left. I left the family unit, and
I left the compound.
yeah, and then moved to New York,
Mm.
and stayed there for a couple years. Moved to Seattle, stayed there for about like 2, 3 years, and then now I live here.
You moved to New York you just moved to New York.
Yeah, yeah, just to do it.
Didn't know anybody. Just moved to New York.
I knew like a couple people.
That's kind of crazy. What part of
Yeah.
New York?
Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Oh, you were in hell. You were.
Th- There are worse places out there, I'll say.
That's one of them though. That's crazy. You were there. You say you were there for 2 years.
Just about, yeah.
That's crazy. And then what was Seattle's kind of an odd one.
Seattle, yeah, it was definitely like I'd never been there before even moving there, but
Mhm.
like I knew someone out there. Gave me a pretty like decent opportunity to like live out there,
Mhm.
have a job. Like I worked at a dispensary for a little bit.
Mhm.
That was tight, and it was
Worked
definitely
out.
a culture shock, like living in New York and then moving to like it wasn't Seattle at first. It was like a little town like north of Seattle.
Mhm.
Now I was like seeing gas stations again and
Yeah,
like grocery stores, and shit was just like fuck.
that
like,
wasn't attached to like a skyscraper.
Yeah,
That wasn't
yeah.
at the bottom of a skyscraper. Like no, that's interesting. I mean, and especially like I feel like that's a. I mean, even though like a lot of the movie where I was in your adolescence, so I mean, but I think that's really good to see that you're very cultured. You know what I'm saying? You've seen a lot of things, got to experience it. That's interesting, and that I'm gonna guess has to play a part into your artistry and stuff like that. Because when did you have time to start becoming a videographer? That's a lot of shit.
Videography was actually one of the things that like I never even expected to like do,
Mhm.
but I guess it kind of like developed from like a love of film photography. I started doing that in Florida, um, because I played in like a bunch of bands and like got to tour around and stuff, and
Mhm.
picked up the camera, brought it around, and sort of like developed this sort of like interest in like seeing how like sick life was at the time. Shit was always popping off.
Mhm.
Like when I moved to New York, there was something going on all the time, every night.
Mhm.
You would like meet so many different people, so many like stylish like people as well. So end up taking pictures, meeting them. Those relationships that I built, like actually, I still have today, you know, and they've actually helped me here and there.
Yeah,
So,
they come in handy when they need to.
uh, I mean, just like we're still around, you know. So
Yeah.
like we see each other at parties, events. We like sometimes
Wow.
work with each other
Mm.
outside of that, but it's always like a friendship based thing.
So you started out with photography and all that before you started getting into video, kind of transitioned.
Yeah,
That's kind of interesting though, because a lot of
yeah.
people, I feel like a lot of people do the other route. Like they're videographers first, and then like somehow, some way they like, oh, I take pictures too. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they do like the still thing where it's like, they do a bunch of still images and stuff like that. But I could never understand that either. Like you said, to stand really, just take the picture. Like I've never understood. I've never understood like still photography.
They're definitely two very different
Mm.
things. Like I would say, videography and like still photography.
Like it's, I don't. Like I said, I don't see the. I know that shit has to be super technical.
Two different skill
It's
sets.
two
I
totally
would say.
different skill sets.
Yeah.
But and that's interesting. I mean, so then from there on, I'm gonna guess you started picking up the whole like the VHS stuff, or how did that kind of come in play? Were you doing digital first?
The first camera I ever had was like a little GoPro,
Mm.
like the 7.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
working construction at the time, in downtown, like putting windows up in skyscrapers.
Huh?
Yeah, and a coworker of mine like had this camera, didn't use it, and like another coworker of ours was like a rapper, so that was one of like the first videos I shot. And then he ended up selling me the camera, and
Mm.
I just like went with that. I had shot like a video on my phone and edited it on my phone before, and it came out pretty sick. And like I didn't do anything for like maybe 9 months because I was just like,
Mm.
okay, pretty much like low-key I'd always been good at video because I went to like I did like video production in high school, like
Uh,
got ahead early, like
no college though.
no college, just
Mm.
like got like that basis. But my main focus at the time, like as a teenager and like my early 20s, was just like music, playing
Yeah.
music, producing. Like I started producing before all of that, like,
Mm.
but for some reason,
Producing music, like beat making, or
yeah, like
where
I was like 15 on like the very early
Mm.
version of like FL Studio.
did you pay for it?
No.
There we go. There we go. Keep it going. Okay. I've asked everybody that question that says anything about beat making. They say Pro Tools. I'm like, oh, not Pro Tools. FL. I'm like, yeah, did you buy it? Who you think I fucking bought it? Like, you know what I mean? But anyway, you were saying?
Yeah, that just like I don't know. It's as if I would like pick something up and then just like get really good at it, and then like do something else, get really good at that, and then just like keep going.
I mean, because
So
I get that though. I mean, it's standing in the same space forever is kind of boring. You know what I mean? Like, especially if there's so much out there in that realm of camera stuff and or even just music shit. Like, all that shit kind of goes hand in hand. Like, who wants to just do the one thing forever? You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I mean, it could just be like how I grew up, always moving around and stuff, and having different interests and learning to become adaptable
Yeah.
in different environments.
Yeah, especially if you're coming from overseas and over here, like that's some hell in itself. Like that has to be a culture shock too.
It was more so for my parents, and, like
Mhm.
they were obviously like they grew up in the Philippines, third world country,
Mhm.
come to America, and their perspective is like they're also like sponges too. Everything
Yeah.
is new to them. At the same time, they're raising a kid. All of that is new to them.
Mhm.
So
Times two.
yeah,
Mhm.
so I definitely got like the sort of like the I got to see what it was like for these immigrant parents to like go through all the stress and
Mhm.
and hardships like even as a kid. Um, but I appreciate like everything that I've been through
I know.
for
I
sure.
mean, as you should. I mean, it's made you who you are today. You know what I mean? And I mean, so from that and the editing and stuff like that too, like you kind of picked it up also just self learned, or how did that kind of come about as well?
That was self-learned. Um, someone
I got you. I got you. I got you.
yeah, no, I'd acquired a MacBook and just downloaded Premiere,
Mhm.
which I actually did pay for, and like had to just like
There you
start
go.
teaching myself off the jump. And I was working full time at the time, like the construction job,
Mhm.
commuting an hour back and forth,
Damn, in LA?
Seattle.
Oh, so this is Seattle. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I would get there at 7,
Mhm.
leave the job site at 5 by 5 p.m. every day, mostly.
Yeah.
And I was like also like learning how to do video stuff, and it just got to the point where like I was so like enamored and focused like on doing this video shit that like
Mhm.
I started like missing days at work, and coincidentally, like I went out of town, came back, got super sick, and then had to miss more days.
Yeah.
Came to the job site one day, and they're like, "You're fired."
You're out of here.
So yeah. Um,
And then you just said, "Fucking, I'm going
then
to LA."
then the lockdown happened.
Oh, so this is recent.
This was like 2020.
Yeah,
like
so
early
this is recent as
January
fuck.
2020 was when I lost my job and like
Yeah.
doing that, and I was just kind of like, okay, well, at that point, I figured like I'd become good enough to where I thought I could just like, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do videos
Mhm.
full time,
And
and never looked back
It
since.
just worked out.
It was hella hard at first. I would like try to like be like, yo, I'll shoot and edit a video for like $250, and like no one would hit me up like at all. Like
Mhm.
I didn't know why. I was just like mad
Yeah.
and confused. And I don't know, throughout this whole journey there's so many like moments of disappointment and times where I was like expecting something and like not really like meeting that expectation,
Mhm.
to where like I've learned enough and like none of it really matters, honestly. Like
I mean, pieces of it have to, right?
pieces of it definitely matter.
Yeah, but the whole scheme of things is like, okay, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like your face card, it's whatever,
It only goes as far as everything else. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
You just be yourself, bro.
Mhm.
Take care of yourself, like,
Yeah.
and everything else will just come to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you said like about
Right.
the face card shit. I mean, because you know as well as anybody else, out at least out here, at least your face card doesn't mean too much, but it means like a weird amount. You know what I'm saying? And then you learn that through obviously because you've been everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That it's a really weird balance. You know what I'm saying? And also not trying to get too caught up in that type of shit. When, like you said, you should just be yourself
Mhm.
and kind of follow your own path and do what kind of do what you got to do from there.
Yeah, just like stay focused on the task, bro, because like art is ever changing, and like
Mhm.
especially like in this scene, like video work and creativity, music, it's always like based on what's new and what's
Mhm.
fresh and what's hot. And if you don't like learn to keep up with like not only like everything else going on, but like yourself, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like really you have to just focus on like doing it like in your own way,
Yeah.
because like all of that really is what doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, did obviously that's transferred over to your work, but did you, not saying try to emulate, but when you were learning kind of how to create your own style and do things like your own way, because you have a very specific editing style. You can kind of always tell like it's a speeder video, just like a couple seconds in before you even see like your title card and shit like that. Like it's your type of video or your video. Like how long do you feel like that actually took before you were like, okay, like this is it? You know what I'm saying?
it was just a matter of doing it over and over and over again, and it was only because I had like the equipment that I had
Mhm.
that like created that like sort of style.
Mhm.
And to this day, I still don't have a DSLR, like a regular digital camera. Like I like to get in like other people involved. I like to
Yeah.
work with other like videographers and stuff too.
Mhm.
And
Just to bring that other style or the digital flavor to it. I can
Yeah.
see that.
but like if like whenever it's just me, like I'll just bring like whatever I have, shoot with
Mhm.
like whatever I feel like shooting on.
Mhm.
And yeah, because after a while, you can only do this that way so many times.
So many times.
And then like before even I started to be like, oh god, like sick of my own
another
shit.
another one of these. Like, I
So-
mean, and then even speaking on that, like the ideas that kind of come behind it. Do you write treatments? Are you one of those people that are obviously you do a lot of running gun, but are there times where you sit down and kind of write out what you want to do, or is it kind of one of those things, or is it just quick running gun shit? Like how?
Yeah, I've done treatments before.
And then like I'm just so curious because it's like you're probably like there's not a lot of people that shoot VHS that do that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are just we're just gonna use this for whatever. Like a lot of people use it for B-roll. You know what I'm saying? Instead of using like the slow motion shit, it's like but you use it more of in a.
I'll use a VHS camera for the whole damn video.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like just the whole thing, like straight through.
And like it's not even because like, oh, like this is my artistic interpretation of how video should be shot. It's like, no, like I only had the VHS camera
Yeah.
on me at the time.
So just shot the whole thing on there. Like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, I think that's tight. I mean, even with like rotoscoping it and things of that nature, like where you don't see a lot of people do that. They just shoot it raw and straight through the camera, and usually that's it. You know, you're actually editing and processing like a VHS footage, which, again, like I said, a lot of people don't do. You know what I mean? Like, especially with, I'm guessing you said you use Premiere. I'm guessing you still use Premiere and After Effects and
After
stuff
Effects
like that.
too, yeah.
People that use fucking Final Cut are fucking murderers. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and one thing I hope like nobody out there or like anybody watching this like doesn't ever get confused is that like I'm not the sole person editing like
Yeah.
like the craziest videos that like that come out. Most of the time, like I'll probably have someone like help me on. You know what I mean? But you can tell when it's like just me.
Yeah.
You can like I'll definitely specify and credit like when someone
You
else
do.
is like on that, and I try to make sure they get their flowers.
That's what I'm saying.
sure.
That's another reason why I even wanted to have you on here, because there's a lot of videographers that are very, that are not even big or just anywhere in that realm where they will, even if you help them with it and shit like that, there's no way you're getting the other credit, especially if it's an artist that they really like. They're about to make sure that they're the only ones on there. They'll take your title card off, all types of crazy shit. And that's I feel like that's rare in this community. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just because it's such a dog eat dog world, and I get that, but it's like, Jesus Christ, like, what about being human? You know what I'm saying? We all have the same goal. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like that happens a lot. But no, I know at least, like, I know the ones you did for Zelly and stuff like that. I've seen a couple of those, and I can't remember his name, so I'm not going to mention it. But, like, I know there was help on those videos and stuff like that. But I know there's ones that you've done with, other named artists that are really, really good. And I know you've done those by yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the ones that I'm focusing on. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't remember the three that I have in mind. I can't remember the videos, but you know what I'm saying. But they're really, really good. You know what I'm saying. But
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Right now, you're doing your shit, right? Especially like with the fisheye stuff, and that's your footage too, right? It's a GoPro. Are you using like a fisheye?
I use a fisheye.
That's
with a VHS camera. So.
Oh yeah, that's the one. When we went to that fucking, I think when we met at the.
You saw me like holding it on there, right?
That gigantic ass. It's just heavy as hell. It's just heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're lugging around that shit. I'm not gonna lie. I have one, and I don't use that shit because it's so fucking heavy. Like.
I love it. You're talking about the recent one, right?
Yeah, the recent one.
The black camera that I had. Yeah. I just got that. Where?
Yeah.
I ordered it.
eBay?
Yeah, actually, I've ordered one on Amazon, and it like came like shipped, like just broken, like not as like the picture I saw was just like a pristine like looking camera, like fully working as they described, and then it came to me, it was just broken. I was like, fuck.
I've never even known Amazon to even sell fucking VHS.
It was the only one on Amazon.
It was probably why. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never seen that before. That's why I was like, you got it from eBay? You talking about Amazon? That's crazy as hell.
But I had the lens come too, and I had a video coming up that I had to shoot. So like I couldn't properly like screw the lens on the camera. So what I did was like cut a wire and like stuff like the extra space. Yeah. And then tape it like with electrical tape and like Gorilla tape.
Yeah, Gorilla tape it. And
just like thugged it out during that video.
Yeah.
So.
But it still looked good though.
It looked nice.
Yeah, it looked good. I'm not gonna. It looks good. I sometimes with this shit, if things don't work, you gotta make it work. You know what I mean? Like you still have to be resourceful. You still have to be some type of cunning in the sense of making it work with nothing if you don't have it or if it's not gonna work. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people that shoot like there's I've been looking into cinema cameras a lot just to look, but there's like how all the mounts and like PLs and EF mounts or whatever, but like sometimes they don't fit and they look like a fucking fisheye. Like somebody shot a whole movie like that. And I was like, that is the coolest shit ever. Like, you know what I mean? And it just made me remind me of like, oh, this nigga fucking taped a whole fucking lens that didn't fit onto a camera. Like, that shit is crazy as hell. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? But, and then how do you feel about like, okay, so remember before we were rolling, I was talking about, I get a lot of shit for shooting VHS.
Who gives you shit for shooting VHS?
I can't say it on here, but there's a good amount of people. Like I'll tell you after. There's a good amount of people. I get a lot of shit for it. A lot of people think it's cool, but a lot of people are like, oh, like, this isn't going, like, you can't turn this into Vice. Like Vice isn't gonna want this. They're not gonna, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it's like a situational thing. Other than like, it's not sharp. If it's not sharp, they're not gonna want it. Like, how do you feel about that? Have you ever had that type of issue where anybody was like, "Oh, you don't shoot 4K? You don't do that?" Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, when it comes to like booking an artist to shoot, like I make sure that's not an issue. I
mm-hmm,
make sure there's always a 4K camera available.
yeah,
I'll even shoot on my phone,
mm-hmm.
and like people won't even notice. Like it'll just look
It
really
looks the
clean.
same. It looks the same.
Yeah,
They're both the
because
same.
I don't know, like I guess my style has developed over to being like mixed media sort of thing because I
Mm-hmm.
use like 3, 4 cameras sometimes.
Yeah.
But I understand it. I agree
Mm-hmm.
because there are times where like yeah, like I said earlier, like even I've been like, oh man, like when it came down to like, okay, this is my last camera. It's like it's fucking high. I've lost everything else from like just being outside too much,
Yeah,
maybe
you know how
being a
that
little too
goes.
lit sometimes. Like it is what it is.
Shit happens.
But when it came down to looking at that shit and like being like, oh fuck, like I'm a videographer. What kind of videographer am I?
Yeah,
Like I
exactly.
had to like really get my shit together and step it up. So I got a camera. Like I got a
Yeah.
new one. And
Mm-hmm.
just because sometimes like you have to be like ready and able to like fit most situations if you
Yeah.
want to do this.
Mhm.
And if the footage that you turn in is like known to like not look that great or like it's too fuzzy, then you gotta like understand like yeah, like
Yeah.
most like some people aren't gonna want that. And like I've been through that too, where people like have not worked with me or kind of just like moved past that sort of like desire for
Yeah.
a sort of like VHS style
The
video.
aesthetic. Yeah.
Yeah, like because you've seen it, like it became like really widespread. I'm not like
Huge.
saying like I created this shit, but
No,
like
no, 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 no.
definitely, as I said earlier, like
You have
it
to.
is
You
time
help
to
them move
evolve.
wrong.
Like
No,
you
yeah.
have to like definitely like find a way to like keep your own style, but like improve upon it too.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got like a nicer VX
VHS.
camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Something
got like
that's.
a expensive fisheye lens, and like
Yeah.
now I'm defining like my style
Mm-hmm.
to be more based around that.
Mm-hmm. No, and I mean, forget to start that shit. I. So yeah. So just want to get into about like what you have going on, and I mean I know it's pretty serious. So I just want to get into it, and all the links and stuff like that for that can support my boy here will be in the description and stuff like that. So, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I won't really like get too into detail with it, but basically I broke my leg, and a tumor was discovered in the bone, and it's been about 4 months, and I'm still like on the path to treating it.
Mm.
It grew like a lot since then, and now I have the cast off, which is like such a relief. But since then, like I had the bone, it was broken. The bone is gone now.
Mm.
So like there's like 4.5 inches like missing from my shin bone, and like the tumor is like the size of my fist. It hurts a lot, but like luckily I've just been able to like thug it out and still play it safe. Like my girl's been helping me a lot.
Mm.
But I'll still pop out to a shoot here and there. I just have to like keep it cool and not like put my leg in any danger to where I could like break it again. You know what I mean? Because then it would be
Yeah.
fucked. You know?
Really? So it would be over if you broke it again, just because everything is already going on with it.
Yeah, I would just want to keep it safe. You know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I would hope so. But I mean, I mean, and to be completely honest, I mean, but you, I mean, I mean, I think you had. I don't know if you had the cast. I remember you had crutches, but if you've ever been to a fucking Inflame show, and shout out Box and AJ and everybody over there, love y'all.
Shouts out,
You know,
Box.
but I mean, you're on a fucking couch shooting this fucking like shit for for Quincy and everything, and I mean, again, this is like the tightest space. It's fucking 6,000 degrees in this bitch.
Hot as freaking that.
Oh
in that
my
building,
god,
yeah.
that's and you know what I'm saying. That's fucking that's the strongest man on earth, Rick. I don't think a lot of people would be able to do that shit with that going on. You know what I'm saying? Let alone, you figured it out. It was somewhere else. You came back and everything, and like, nah, like that's one is dedication for real, but two, it's just kind of showing your willpower that you weren't going to let, the tragic thing that's going on, deter you from still, keeping up and keeping up. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
Like,
I mean, shit, man. I'll be honest. It's not like that every day. Like,
Mhm.
there are times where like I'll really like just like kind of just freak out sometimes. Like,
Mhm.
it's a lot mentally, but I've had so much like support from from like my girl, from like from my followers,
Mm,
the people, so the people that follow me on Instagram, like to like friends, family, friends of family, like
mm,
it. I feel very blessed, you know, like I wouldn't have a single excuse to just like curl up and like give up. You
yeah,
feel me? Because like a lot of people believe that I'll be okay, like, and in
and
turn
you
that
will.
that that makes me believe like I'll be okay. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that too, bro, you was out here doing wild shit anyway. You know, what I'm saying? You was rock climbing and hanging over 4,000-story buildings, acting crazy. You know, what I'm saying? You about to be right back to it.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I'm gonna be good for sure.
Yeah, no, that's kind of crazy though. But I mean, but moving from there, you know what I'm saying. But again, all description stuff for my man's in the description, so make sure y'all check it out. You know what I mean. But moving from there, the name. I want to know about the name. You know, and like where are you pulling Speeder out of?
Speeder originates from the Speeder gang, Dice of Life. Shouts out, you know, dudes from Florida. I skated with them a couple times, and we was just off a speeder every day. You know, we roll it, smoke it, and just you know vibe out.
A speeder is weed is a spliff, I'm guessing, right? You
Yeah,
got
no,
people
no,
gonna be guessing
off the
like, what the fuck
speeder.
is a speeder? Niggas on Urban Dictionary trying to figure out what a speeder is. No, but I mean that's y'all just have cool names, bro. Like your little moniker is just fun as hell. Like you know what I mean? Like, but you know from that though too, and I know we had a little technical difficulty, so that's why I'm gonna ask this question again. But the idea with everybody being not everybody being an editor, but the editing surface on where it is now compared to kind of like where where you started and like how do you feel like you're acclimated to it? How do you kind of see it? Like what's your thought standpoint on it?
There are definitely a lot of new things that I want to like get into because the future of video editing, video software is like changing so rapidly that like I feel like I definitely just have to like learn something new and if I
Mhm.
want to like still be around like and still like stick to videography and everything because you know obviously like you can never stop learning but you know I personally feel like I probably still don't know enough to like really
Yeah.
but that's just me you know like
I mean, I feel like you. I mean, I feel like you get by with shit that you doing now. You know what I'm saying? But like, obviously, it's not about getting by. You want to make sure that you succeed in what the fuck you're doing.
and creating
Yeah,
like you know
something new.
something new like you want to be on like the forefront of that
Yeah, you never want to just
but
be.
you shouldn't like pressure yourself ever into like I need to be like the hottest thing like
Yeah.
that's some bullshit you feel me like
Now that and it's honestly can fuck up a lot of the shit that you got going on now, like especially even like a headspace and stuff like that. That's just like
exactly yeah
like you're gonna sit there for 14 hours a day, fucking stressing, looking at your computer, trying to like, what I'm saying, like it's
mm-hmm.
not gonna it's not gonna work. I feel
Knowing
like
like I probably have to like buy like a better computer if I want to do that and I have like medical bills to take care of and stuff so like
exactly. You should even if you didn't, them shits is a man, them shits is a grip either way. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you're not you can't go to the store and buy these. Like you know what I'm
yeah I
saying?
mean I guess right now I'm just kind of like focused on like just like my health and like just sort of just still being able to do my job and
Mhm.
like still you know share my experiences like with people.
Yeah, in the way that you see fit.
Yeah, I think people enjoy that and I love like seeing that like you know when like an artist like looks back at their footage and they're just like so hyped
Yeah.
that like it brings like a smile to their face and I'm just like yeah this is sick you know as corny as that sounds like
Nah, but like you gotta like the corniness shit. I feel like it's just because like I mean it happens a lot because everybody has that feeling, but it's like it's still like I created this. Like at the end of the day, it's like I did this. I was the one that what I mean. They're smiling from something that you did, so it's like
yeah 'cause I know I'm good at what I do and like
you are.
and I know that like the work that someone gets back from like what we do together it's there forever you
Yeah,
know so
exactly. It's just
like
it's cemented.
I do take pride in a lot of the things that like that I create
Yeah, you can't like and I mean I don't know if you feel the same way, but I mean I feel like we as creators or just as people that do things that have to have public recognition in certain senses. I mean, we forget to pat ourselves on the back sometimes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's kind of frowned upon to do that. You know, so in certain cases because you don't want to get too caught up in yourself because the marathon's not over. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Yeah.
But it's you should never forget to like at least like, cool, you did that, like, and people like it, great, and then you move on to the next thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's best to just move on and not get too caught up on like the reward of
Yeah.
completion.
Hmm.
Just like soak it in for a little bit and then just keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, it's step by step. You know what I'm saying? And even with that too, I mean, when you edit though, what is like your process, or when you shoot and edit, like what is the process for you?
It definitely starts with like capturing all the footage, especially
Mhm.
because I shoot on a lot of like analog formats. You have to watch it all over again.
Multiple times.
Yeah, yeah, but I definitely like to watch it like
Mhm.
off the jump. Like if I play the footage
Like
back,
as it's going into the.
just watch it as it's going. It kind of like cements it further
Mhm.
in my head. Of course, you have to watch it over and over and over
Mhm.
again, but
But the first initial, like right after you, especially like the first time you've seen it, as you hook it up to the computer, you rewind the whole tape and then you push it through. Yeah, no, it's always surreal looking at it. Especially if it's been a couple days and you ain't seen it. Like it's always good to rewatch it. But continue.
yeah,
Mhm.
I like that process because there's like a tapeless method too, but I would consider doing that, but I just genuinely like playing the tape back and
Yeah,
like watching everything. Like it does take a long ass time though, and it is kind of a pain in the ass. But
I mean, I don't know. Aren't tapes just an hour though, right? Or most tapes are just an hour.
most tapes,
Yeah, so you're sitting there for a good hour just watching.
just smoking, just watch some shit. Yeah, it's cool.
You know what I mean? But and then so from there on out, you cut. I'm gonna guess you cut your own shit, obviously.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
I cut mostly everything that I shoot.
man, just does it how and that you say I feel like not feel like, but you had said like that's like the most meticulous part for you.
That's the part that I intend to make the most meticulous because effects, yeah, it's meticulous in a different way. It takes longer
Mm.
just to like generate sort of like certain effects and do like go frame by frame. But as far as like cutting moments together, like you have to know which is the right one.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not all linear. Like you can line up like each take with the song
Hmm.
and then cut it from there. But then like to me sometimes it doesn't feel right. I'll take a moment from like the end of the song and put it in the beginning
Mm.
because like they're doing like the artist is like doing an action that like that just
Resonates with
looks,
what you
yeah,
want
it
to do.
just
Yeah.
looks better,
Yeah.
or it just like fits better. I try not to make everything like so cemented to like the lyrics themselves, sort of like make everything flow and like
Mhm.
like an experience rather
Yeah.
than everything is so damn literal all the time.
Everything is just straight to the point.
They say like I get money, you flash to like a scene of money, like
Yeah.
it's too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way too easy.
Yeah. And then I think that's very it's I do think people kind of get it to where it's like everything's linear, everything's just gonna be this. If you're a video editor, there's not too much to it, and that's just because a lot of the linear shit does kind of get the front, you know what I mean? Like especially with your more mainstream videos, if they talk about a Lamborghini, they're in a Lamborghini, and so on and so forth. But I mean, I feel like that doesn't really give your art a voice,
Hmm.
if that makes sense. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
some of the hardest editors I've seen, like shouts out Keith, like shouts out
Yeah.
Side Josh, like um they'll freak an entire video using
Mhm.
things that are in the video like a car or
Yeah.
like a window
Hmm.
or like a TV screen. Like
Hmm.
not even like focus on the subject, but
Other shit.
like yeah, they'll find a way to like creatively transition like something or like
Hmm.
just like manipulate it somehow to where it just like adds, and it's so quick too. It's in the matter of like half a second.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of attention to detail right there.
Especially what they probably had to do with the not have a second just for that little ass, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I mean, I feel like as editors, we do little shit for ourselves too. You know what I'm saying? Just like they might not see it, or not everybody will see it, but I mean, it's still there. You know what I'm saying? It's in that video. I can say that leaving Easter eggs and shit, in your videos. But I
Hmm.
don't want to say too. So you said that you do write your own treatments and things of that nature. Um, is that like you going down like more of a cinematic route, or is it just something that you do? Is that something that you like filmmaking type shit that you want to get into, or you know
Yeah, I guess I started doing videos like just so like with so much like effects and editing that like now I kind of want to like tone it down and focus more on composition,
Mm.
coloring, all the boring shit that I didn't want to focus on before.
All the background shit.
Yeah, but I think like there's a reason why it's like stuck around for so long,
Yeah.
because it really like cements like that experience that I like to, sort of
Yeah.
like solidify as well. So yeah, with like clearer footage, with like better equipment, like with more of a structure as to how we're gonna shoot this compared to like a constant like run and gun method.
Mm.
I think I'll improve as a director and eventually
Yeah.
get into like filmmaking,
Mm.
which is what I want to do. So
Do you think running gun is bad? Do you think it's like? Do you think it's killing big budget videos?
no, because you can do so many. Running gun is like the easiest. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but like you can do a lot of run and gun videos without a big budget.
Mm.
You know, is that what you're asking? Like,
No, and so it's an old question, but I don't think I think I asked. I think Nirvana's the only person I asked this question to, but I want to ask you too because this is just a good question for me. This might be for me, but I had a person that I know that said that kind of works in a more of a like a money grab situation. He's a money grab video guy where it's like everything's packaged. Like you're gonna like most videographers have like a video package where it'll be like more of like a camera package and shit like that. But this is more of like a this camera package comes with two girls, a car, a mansion, shit like that. Like yeah, like dead ass cookie cutter like crazy shit.
mhm,
And like he like Dirk's video guy, the Jerry Lewis guy, or I think his name is Jerry.
mm.
But he had does all Dirk shit, and all their shit is not planned out. It's just a bunch of people standing in various positions, areas, and him shooting just a regular video, just a running gun video. But and Dirk came out and said during his interview with the $1 million podcast people, oh, like you like niggas be out here trying to get like $5,000-6,000 for a video and stuff like that, and really we can just go out here and shoot this video and it be that, and like that's really what all people want to see, yada yada yada. And I'd seen this guy that said like, oh well, like you guys are killing it. People that anybody can pick up a DSLR and shoot a video. Like you're killing it for the people that actually have budgeted videos. And I'm like, I don't know. Like what I mean? He's pretty much saying that running gun people that do running gun stuff are pretty much destroying the culture by doing running gun and not charging $6,000 with a mansion, a car, and things of that nature, and not doing it more in a cookie cutter aspect or planned out in a way where there's like a budget bottom line shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a crazy tweet. I'm not gonna lie, and
I think that's a very biased opinion because there's so many fucking artists out there. There's so many goddamn videographers, but there's like a very distinct line between a run and gun video and a high budgeted video.
yeah,
And if you want a high budgeted video, all you got to do is set a high budget video up. You
yeah.
feel me? Like a run and gun video can happen anytime. You're not killing that form at all. And in my opinion, like,
I no, we're in the same boat because I didn't think so either. But you were saying,
yeah,
yeah, I didn't
that's a
think
hot
so.
take.
No, that's what we're here for. But no, I'm saying, but I just think no, because bro, it's just certain things where it's like I don't like obviously we're here for the money. Money is a good thing for everybody. But at the same time, this is fun. Like this is an art form for us, and
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
like I started doing this because I was in it for the art. Um, it being my full time like job now, like it has to be about the money.
yeah.
Um, so
But like it's not a money grab. Like it's not like something that you're gonna
it's
give.
never been like a money grab,
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. It's just you. There's a lot of people out here that are kind of like that, and I mean, it's just very unsportsmanlike for me.
I just feel like, sometimes as a videographer, maybe like as a run and gun videographer, someone like me who's shot like over 130 videos in the
Mhm.
street, just like just do this, go
Do
there,
that.
feel me? Like I like I like to do that sometimes, but what was I even saying? Like,
We're sitting. You're pretty much saying that like you like to do both. that you would like to do.
Yeah,
but
like
after shooting 130 of the same type of
yeah, no, give me the fucking budget and I'll create a treatment and like we'll go to a studio and like shoot how you like want to put it together. I've done that before.
It's just the
oh yeah, what I was saying is like as like someone who does a lot of run and gun things, like sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's like hard to get it across that like yeah, like I'll use this money from this budget to like pay someone to come along with the shoot, like help with lighting, help assist and direct, help edit the video too. You know, there could be like someone that's like super good at effects that I want to work with, but you know, I don't want to constantly be like, oh yeah, I have this project. A lot of people are gonna see it, you know. I shot it for free. Are you down to edit for free? Like,
you gotta come up with some bread somewhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, it's the manner of how things are done. You know what I'm saying? Like, let alone like obviously like if I'll do something for free, I don't expect the next person to do it for free. We're not the same people. You know what I'm saying? It has to be, you know, linear. It has to all make sense. And even
there are times I've had to come out of my own pockets, like pay an editor like help me with a video, but you know, I don't exactly like to do that.
No, I mean, right? Especially
like,
when you could probably do it yourself. But I mean, time constraints and making sure things are done on time, and then at that point, you're putting your your whole resources into somebody else, and it's like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It is sometimes the easiest way just to give somebody some bread and have them finish it up.
So yeah, I guess building trust between the artist and the videographer is very important because you want them to feel good about giving you money, you know?
Giving it to the right person.
Like a certain, like a larger amount of money compared to like $300, $400, $500 for like a little this and that video.
A little whatever video,
yeah.
No, I said the same thing. I think relationship is very, very important. It's just, you know, it falls on the artist and, you know, whoever's shooting the video shoulders too at the same time. It's an equal amount of balance, you know what I'm saying, of making sure that, you know, this is, you know, you gave it your all in the song and you know, kind of gave it your own idea too, so we can go back and forth and kind of figure it out, talk about the money, you know, shit like that. So it really makes sense and that we both know that we're serious.
Yeah, I think like where I've come short like a lot of the time is like I've been too much of an artist and like not much of a good businessman to where I've just been like, oh yeah, like I'll do it because I love this and then end up like losing out in the end. But I've done it long enough to where I've learned enough to sort of like be like, okay, you know, this is the boundaries, and if you want to do this, then you know we're gonna have to like figure something out.
You have to figure something out. I mean, shit happens like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like I said, nothing's free. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's free in the world. You know what I'm saying? Everything costs money. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it is what it is. But I just, you know, we definitely all kind of running out of time here. But I want to just first of all thank you for coming on here for sure.
Thank you for having me.
This is a good one. I like this one a lot. I'm not gonna lie. This
sick.
You know what I'm saying? Hope you feel the same. You know what I'm saying? My man. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I snap. I don't know why I snap.
It's like a LA thing. I've noticed. Yeah.
Bro, it's fucking bad, and I don't
like,
try.
I don't normally snap, but you snap. So
we snap. It's all right. You know what I mean? But as far as it goes, man, I just want to just let you know, man, doing your shit, man. You're strongest motherfucker out here, bro. You know, just keep doing your shit, man, and keep your head down. You know what I mean? Like, you definitely deserve all the flowers you get. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody take that shit away from you, for sure. You know what I mean? But this has been Life in Times, guys. Last words. Any last words?
Yeah, just want to say thank you to everyone that's just supported me so far. I really, you know, just hope I'll be able to give back like in some way to where everyone just knows that it comes from the heart, and I just like truly appreciate it and want everyone to know that, like, because without this like amount of support, I would be in a very different place. So,
well, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, y'all. It's been Life in Times with Speeder. Bow. You want Chanel number 9? Oh, but she probably still lying. SLTD and I'm flying. You cat where you really ain't high. Money kinda in the back and still I fuck it up till it's high. These niggas say that they don't love, but they just turn it up.